You ever wonder about the people behind some of YouTube's biggest channels? You know the ones. They pull in millions of views talking about everything from finance to celebrity drama, but you never ever see their face? Well, there's a new kind of creator out there, one that's less of a person and more, well, more of a process. Let's peel back the curtain on how it all works. So, here's the big question. Can you actually succeed on YouTube? Like, really succeed, without ever stepping in front of a camera? And the answer isn't just yes. It's a whole business model that's growing like crazy and totally changing the game for what it means to be a creator. The name for this is YouTube automation. And here's the thing you gotta understand. It's not just about making a certain style of video. It's a full-on business strategy. It's all about building systems, using AI tools, and hiring freelancers to run YouTube channels like they're scalable assets. The person in charge, they're more like a producer or an executive than a traditional YouTuber. And that right there, that's the huge shift in thinking. You go from being a creator, where the channel is you, to being a business owner, where you just run the channel. This lets you scale up in ways that one person just can't. I mean, we're talking about running multiple successful channels all at the same time. This whole shift is kicking off what you could call a faceless creator revolution. So what's the big deal? Why is this model so incredibly appealing to so many people? Well, the advantages are pretty powerful. First off, you get total freedom with your location and your time. You can run this whole operation from a laptop anywhere in the world. Second, it's super scalable. Because you've built a system, you are no longer the bottleneck. And finally, you get to be anonymous. You can build a whole media empire without anyone ever knowing who you are. Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds amazing, but how does it actually work? Let's break down the playbook and deconstruct the system. At the heart of it all is something we can call a content assembly line. It's basically 5 steps. You start with the idea and research, then you move to writing the script, getting a voiceover recorded, editing the actual video, and finally creating that super important thumbnail. And here's the kicker. Every single one of these steps can be turned into a process, handed off to a freelancer, or supercharged with AI. Now, that very first step, choosing what your channel is about, is a massive business decision. You're basically at a crossroads. Do you go for a high CPM niche, like finance or technology, where advertisers will pay top dollar to get in front of that audience? Or do you aim for something with huge viral potential, like memes or celebrity gossip, and just go for massive, massive view counts? But wait a minute. How on earth does one person manage this whole assembly line, maybe even for more than one channel? That's where we get to the real secret sauce, the engine that powers this entire thing. The engine is artificial intelligence. Simple as that. AI is what makes this whole model work at scale. It's like a force multiplier for pretty much everything, from brainstorming ideas all the way to creating the final video. Now, this isn't about robots taking over, not at all. As this quote gets at, the real magic happens when you combine the two. The human brings the vision, the strategy, the creativity, while the AI brings the raw analytical power and speed. So what does that actually look like? Well, AI acts as a creativity catalyst, helping you come up with endless video ideas and even drafting scripts. It boosts your brain power by analyzing tons of data to tell you what's working, and it just makes everything more efficient, generating voiceovers, images, and video clips, which frees you up to focus on the big picture. Okay, building the system is one thing, but all of this work, all of this AI, it all leads to the big question. How do these channels make real money? It's time to follow the cash. See, the smartest operators in this space never put all their eggs in one basket. Of course, ad revenue is the foundation, but then they build on top of that with affiliate marketing, putting links to products in their descriptions. After that, you start getting brand deals, and many eventually create and sell their own products. It is all about diversification. And to make sure all of this is working, they live and breathe by the data. They are constantly tracking metrics like CPM, what advertisers pay per 1,000 views, and RPM, what you actually earn. They obsess over the click-through rate of their thumbnails and, maybe most importantly, audience retention, how long people stick around and watch. Think of these numbers as the heartbeat of the business. But as these automated, AI-powered media machines get more and more common, it kind of forces us to take a step back, to think about the bigger picture and the role of the human inside this new machine. And that brings us to a really critical question. With all this incredible potential to automate content, what's the human cost?
What are the bigger conversations we really should be having right now? Well, this whole trend is definitely stirring things up. We're having to talk about things like bias in the AI's training data. We're asking big questions about privacy. And of course, everyone is wondering what this means for the future of creative jobs. On top of all that, it's just getting harder and harder to know if what you're seeing online is real or if it's AI generated. But, at the end of the day, after all the talk about technology and automation, the sources we looked at all came back to one simple, powerful truth: that human connection is still what matters most. Even in a faceless, automated video, for it to really succeed, it has to connect with another human being on some level. And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. In a world where AI can write and talk and create images, what does it even mean to be a creator anymore? Is it the person with the original idea, the person who manages the system, or is it the AI itself? That's a question I think we're all going to be figuring out together.